Hi, I'm Beryl, and the theme for today's video is pancakes. And if you're thinking,
Hey, didn't you literally just do pancakes?
yes, but I did savory pancakes, and this is the sweet pancake episode. We have 5 sweet pancakes from 5 different countries, so let's begin.
My name is Lex. I live in the southern United States, but I was born in and spent a lot of my childhood in Michigan, and the pancake dish that I would love to share with you today is called Jiffy cakes. Jiffy cakes are just pancakes, but they're made with Jiffy cornbread mix, which is a Michigan staple, and you mix it with milk, eggs, and butter. Jiffy cakes are different from normal pancakes because they get a bit more crispy, and the corn gives them a sweet flavor. They're very hearty and filling, so it's the perfect snow day breakfast because you can just eat and then go outside for the rest of the day and not have to worry about coming back in for some food. But yeah, it's delicious. I love having it with peanut butter and syrup, or blueberry syrup is also very good. I'm so happy that I get to share it with you, and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, and so we begin with the Jiffy cakes from the USA. Whoa, weird. What? It still tastes like cornbread, but much sweeter. This blueberry syrup, though. I have had this bag of frozen blueberries in my freezer for months and months, because there was this one phase where I was like really into smoothies, and then that like abruptly ended. And then I was left with all these frozen blueberries. If you have a ton of frozen fruit in your freezer that's just taking up space at this point, make it into this syrupy type of jam, because it's delicious and it's super, super simple to do. And now I have more space in my freezer and I have yummy jam in the fridge. I did burn a few of them because I was having trouble controlling the heat on that stupid little burner. I think what I like most about these is that they're not as sweet as a traditional American buttermilk pancake. And so for me, it's a nice middle ground for a breakfast food that doesn't feel as desserty, sweet. I'd like to mention the artist featured today. Her name is Ruth Mullin. She is also the artist for this month's Patreon art club. This print will be going out to everybody. She is a lino cut artist, and she sent some videos to show her work. It's a very old technique dating back to the early 1900s. Her designs felt perfect for springtime, so I was excited to have her be a part of the art club. If you're interested in joining my art club, where print gets sent out to everybody along with the newsletter that I type up, it is in my Patreon. I'm leaving a link in the description. Okay, let's go on to the next pancake.
Hi, I'm Magda. I am originally from Poland, but I live in Dublin, Ireland. The dish I want to talk about is Racuchy z Jabłkami, which is my beloved childhood dish. It's basically pancakes with apples. And you can serve it with powdered sugar or with jam. My favorite way of serving it would be with homemade jam from my grandpa. I like this dish because it feels very nostalgic to me. This is something that my grandma used to prepare, and it actually somehow reminds me of summer, even though it's not really season for the apples, because then you really want to eat some light lunch, because you want to go outside and play with your friends. So this is something that the ingredients, you would always have them in your pantry. So my grandpa would just quickly prepare it, fry it, give it to me with some sugar, and I would eat and be ready to go outside. And I feel that this is a dish that most of Polish people know and feel very nostalgic about. And now that I live in Ireland, I sometimes also would love to prepare some Polish dishes, and this is something for which I don't need fancy ingredients and I don't need to spend 3 hours in the kitchen. So it's my kind of go-to Polish dish nowadays. I think you should definitely try Racuchy z Jabłkami. This is just a simple twist to regular crepes. When you have the butter for crepes ready, think of maybe throwing some pieces of apples there and frying and seeing what it tastes like. You can also add a bit of cinnamon in this, and it's just so simple and so yummy. Definitely go for it.
Okay, I have apple pancakes from Poland, and while I do not have Magda's grandfather's homemade jam, I do have a homemade jam made by one of you guys, which is honestly very delicious. So I think that'll cut it. I also have it with yogurt because I really like pancakes with yogurt. I just do. These are interesting to me because they're made with whole wheat flour. I'm so used to having pancakes with all-purpose white flour, and so there's kind of like there's just like more flavor to it because whole wheat flour just tastes different. The jam is good. I like the apples. They're very soft though, there's no crunch to them anymore, which makes sense. They were sliced very thinly. I actually ended up cutting them again after because I couldn't really figure out how to get them in the batter when they were such big slices. You know, I also will say that the apple that I was using was monstrously huge, like American weird large-sized fruit. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, nature doesn't grow it that large usually, America. Growing up as a kid, it was always like chocolate chips or blueberries in pancakes, and I never liked chocolate chips in my pancakes. I just felt like it was too much. You'd always get this like chocolate bomb, and blueberries are fine enough. But I really like the apple. I think it's something that's a little bit more delicate. You don't feel like you're eating a big thing of fruit, but it's still a little fruity. Okay. 10 points if you can tell me what other video Magda was in, because this is her second time on camera. Let's take a moment and talk about Bokksu. Bokksu is a monthly Japanese snack subscription box. Ta-da! Every month, you get a box delivered to your door of curated Japanese snacks under a theme. The theme this month is celebration because it is Bokksu's birthday. So this box is full of staff and subscriber favorites. I believe that food is an amazing way to experience the world, and that's why I love Bokksu so much. Every month, you get this amazing curated experience of Japanese snacks that you have probably never tried before. There are teas and sweets, you get savory, and the book lets you explore where they all come from, which is really cool. Okay, what am I gonna try? Oh, we're trying these. Takoyaki is one of my favorite foods. It smells like takoyaki because of the sauce that they put on top. It's like a little takoyaki chip ball. Ooh, I like them. It's like if an air-puffed Cheeto was instead the flavor of takoyaki. Ooh. Man, can anything be a good chip flavor? Maybe. If you would like to try Bokksu yourself, and it's a great way, honestly, to support and interact with my channel, use my code BERYL15 for $15 off your first box. And tell me what you think of the takoyaki chips, because I love them. Okay, let's get back to the pancakes.
My name's Christine. I live in Southern California, but my parents are originally from the Middle East. The dish I want to share with you today is a dessert called Atayef, and it's from my mom's home country, Jordan. Atayef are essentially pancakes that are stuffed with either nuts, like pistachios or walnuts, clotted cream, or white cheese. Racuchy and Tbilisi cheeses are usually used, but if you don't have those, you can use mozzarella or a mixture of mozzarella and ricotta as a substitute. You can also use mascarpone cheese in place of the clotted cream, since that works out perfectly. There are two versions of Atayef, a fried and an unfried version. Both taste really different from each other, and one is a little bit simpler to make, and it can be eaten pretty much straight off the grill. The other one, however, has to be deep fried and then dipped in a sugar syrup. Atayef are usually most popular around the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. That's basically when you can find it at any street vendor, dessert shop, or iftar. The rest of the year it's less common to find, but for Christians like my family, it's really popular around Christmas and Easter. I love this dish because it reminds me of my mom. Her eyes actually light up when she sees them. It's her favorite dessert. My personal favorite stuffing is coconut, raisins, and cinnamon sugar. I'm not sure if that's conventional or if it's something that my family made up, but that's definitely my favorite way to eat them. But a particular memory that it's really tied to is the days when I was growing up and going to visit my aunt Samira. She used to make atayef a very special way. I don't know what it was about it. I don't know what she put in the pancake, but it had a very special aroma and a very special flavor. And I've tried to replicate that or find a place that replicates that, and I just have not been able to. Atayef is associated with family, warm memories, and good vibes. So I hope that when people try them, they can feel that.
I have the entire plate of Atayef because, I mean, they look so pretty. I didn't want to disrupt the flow, you know? Which one do I want? This one. I mean, yeah. I was very excited to include, hold on. Let me just finish that. I'm very excited to include this recipe right now because it is the month of Ramadan, so a lot of people are celebrating, and this is quite a typical dessert during this holiday. Happy Ramadan to everybody celebrating this month. When you're making these, don't forget to put the baking soda in because I actually forgot, and when I put them on the pan, they weren't bubbling, and I was like, wait, what's going on? And then I was like, oh.
Wait, what is going on? Oh.
The other thing, and I don't know why, but I had trouble getting some of my Atayef to stay pinched shut. I kind of tried to film around those, so they looked perfect, but a few of these bad boys have burst open. I also have to say, I'm usually not a big fan of walnuts, but like, I'm really liking the walnuts on this. I also just want to say, did you notice in the back of Christine's video, the little hi Beryl and friends? I love that. That was just so cute.
Hello, my name is Aditya. I live in Solo City, Central Java Province, Indonesia. The dish I want to share is Serabi Solo. Serabi is an Indonesian traditional pancake made from rice flour and coconut milk. It dates back to the Mataram Kingdom in the 16th century, so it's a very old pancake. There are various types of serabi throughout Indonesia, but the sweetest and the most delicious for me is Serabi Solo. It's not too thick, it has a spongy watery texture with thin crispy crust and a rich coconut flavor. Some people add slices of banana and chocolate sprinkles as toppings, but many prefer the sweet coconut milk flavor without any toppings at all. I like Serabi Solo because of its authenticity and how it has become an iconic dish from Solo City. We usually eat Serabi Solo for breakfast or as a snack while enjoying a cup of hot ginger tea. Serabi Solo reminds me of my childhood. My mother would usually prepare Serabi Solo if we want to go for a picnic, and we would usually eat it during the trip. You should try Serabi Solo. Once you bite it and it comes right into your mouth, you can taste the sweet, almost watery texture kind of melts inside your mouth, combined with a thin, crispy crust, creating a unique combination of flavor and texture.
It's so pretty. I feel like I've gotten really into food styling, and I knew that I had these banana leaves, and I was like, I know what I'm doing with those. I think I kind of just eat it like this. I don't... like the crust is like, alright. I'm just gonna tear it so I can get to the center. Mmm! Whoa! It's so yummy! This is all the sweeter because I found this pancake to be a little bit difficult to make. I actually had to go out and buy a pot to make it because I needed something with sloped sides, because when I poured the ladle of the mixture in, this kind of fringe cooks on the side of the pan. I watched a bunch of videos online and they did say that it's still going to look a little bit glossy on top, but it will be cooked the whole way through. Wow, the coconut flavor is so beautiful. One of the things I want to say about this pancake is that I had to buy another type of flour. Was it not 2 episodes ago that I was complaining about this issue? My gosh, do I have a million kinds of flour. This isn't even all the flours that I have. Can everything be made into a flour? What am I gonna do with all this flour eventually? And then here it was, another type of flour. I had glutinous rice flour, but I needed just rice flour. So the collection continues to grow. If you like coconut flavor and you have a pan with a rounded edge, I really would recommend trying to make this. I mean, it's just delicious. Okay, next one. Baby, wanna try it?
Hi, I'm Ummi. I'm originally from Bangladesh, but I moved to Canada about 3 years ago to do my undergrad. I'm pretty excited to share a Bengali dish called the Patishapta Pitha. So at first, we make very thin crepes, usually from rice flour. And then we make a milky, creamy, delicious filling to go inside. Traditionally, the pancakes are made plain white, but recently people are becoming more artistic, and I've seen people making printed patishapta. Pitas are very popular in our country, especially during winter. Patishapta is definitely a local favorite, and there are many variations of patishapta. You can make it with sugar or jaggery, you can add coconut or make it plain, and that's what I love about it. Every household makes it slightly differently, but at the end of the day, I think my mother makes the best patishaptas. Patishapta Pitha reminds me of my country. It reminds me of my family. Every winter we would go to our grandparents' house and my grandma used to make Patishapta Pitha for us and make us wake up at 6 a.m. because everybody wakes up super early in villages. I think everyone should try making Patishapta at least once because it's absolutely scrumptious.
These look so cute. I love the polka dots. Oh my gosh. I felt like a real Picasso there, putting the polka dots on the pan. I will say before I start this that this dish is not made correctly. It was the kheer, or the custard in the sense that I messed up again. A long time ago, I had to make sticky toffee pudding with an egg custard, and things did not go that well. My custard, it tastes pretty good. It kind of looks like scrambled eggs. All right. I thought that this was going to be my shot at redemption. I was wrong. Very wrong. As you can see in the video, the filling is supposed to be thick. Mine is not. You kind of, it's like a flat cross section here where I think it should have been a little more plump. It tastes good though. Uh-oh, it's leaking. Let me taste the pancake. It's got a very springy texture to it. There's not much flavor though. It's definitely all coming from my kheer, which is delicious. The cardamom flavor is glorious. And the jaggery, It makes me happy. I understand that the polka dots make these a little less than traditional, but it makes them fun, right? Overall, quite a successful episode. I'm leaving a link to the savory pancake episode if you want to watch that, and a link to the video I made about martabak in Indonesia, which was a very, very cool video. So with that, I will see you in my next episode.